Good afternoon, Redwood Chapel family. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for praying for our church during this season. I just want to let you know I'm so thankful for our pastors and elders and the leadership that they offer, the counsel that they give as we move forward as a church. It's important that we walk together in unity, and I'm grateful that we have the opportunity to do that. We mentioned last week in our worship service that we'd be meeting on Monday evening to talk about the opportunity that we may have to move indoor for worship. And I just want to give you an update today as to that discussion and where we are thinking we're going to be going as we head forward. So last Friday, just by way of review, the Supreme Court made a ruling. And basically they said that California's ban on indoor worship services needed to be lifted with some provisions. So you could gather again for indoor worship at up to 25% of a building's capacity. And that was good news, and we were grateful to hear that, which meant that we could move our congregation inside. But then they also said very clearly that there could not be any singing at that indoor gathering until they had further information about the effects of singing. And so the temporary injunction from the Supreme Court says 25% of the building's capacity can be used for indoor worship, but there can be no singing. Well, as we took all of that information together, man, we went through a number of different scenarios as a leadership as to how can we do that? What does that look like? What is a religious service, a worship service? What are the important and necessary elements? And we agree that singing is part of what makes a worship service have that sense of unified voice before the Lord. It's not imperative that we always sing, but it is important as a general part of our worship that we do sing. And so with the desire that we've always had in this COVID season, to be understanding, compliant, and careful with the rules and regulations that are being offered from the government and from our health officials, while also trying to be aggressive and creative with the ways in which we can work within those rules, we're going to do the following going forward. As long as the weather permits, and what I mean by that is if the weather is above a certain degree threshold and if it's dry, we're going to continue to meet outside. And the reason why we're going to do that is because outside worship gives us the best opportunity to provide a safe environment that allows us to have a worship service that includes music and singing and unifying our voices in that way. At the times when there is rain, or if the weather gets really cold and it just feels like it's going to be too cold to be comfortable outside, we're going to move things inside on those days. But on those services when we move inside, we're going to have a worship service that does not include congregational singing. Now, there may be musical elements, but we're not going to sing together. We may have an extended time of prayer. There may be more testimonies, but our time will still be worshipful. It just will not include singing on those rare days that we may have to come inside because of rain or because it's just too cold outside. But hear this. At 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings, there will be an opportunity for you to gather on our campus. It will usually be outside, and sometimes it will be inside. And if you're still not ready to come back to campus because of health reasons or concerns that you have, or you're waiting for the opportunity to get vaccinated, we will be live streaming at 11 o'clock every week. So, online service every week at 11 o'clock. In-person service either outside on our patio or in our parking lot, or inside if the weather is inclement, and we will be together as a church family. This is how we feel that we can best shepherd our community during this time, how we can be a light and be understanding of the concerns, the health concerns. And quite frankly, if you've been able to be a part of our outdoor services, it's been fun. It's been great to be able to be outside and to enjoy the sunshine and to have some of that vitamin D pouring in on us. That is so helpful. It's such a gift from the Lord to be able to be together. You may also be wondering, what does this mean for Lifestage classes? Our Lifestage leaders will be getting in touch with each class as it relates to how you're going to proceed and what you can do. We've given the Lifestage leaders some different options to think through. Our student ministries are continuing to meet. They're going to be having a once-a-month outdoor worship service when they have singing and the weather works for them. If they can't do it because of weather, then they can move inside as well and have a time of worship together that does not include singing. Singing seems to be the big concern because that obviously is where the greatest amount of aspiration takes place, and that kind of the particulate matter gets pushed out into the air. At anything that we do inside, whether that's because it's raining or our student ministries are going to be inside, we will be asking for physical distancing and face masks as a way to show love to one another and to prefer one another. And really, we're not asking about preferences at this point, because preferences say, this is what I want. And we want to model the opportunity to say, it's not about what I want, it's what's best for the whole. And so when we do come inside, we are going to be asking for masks and physical distancing. 25% of our congregation within this worship center gives us the opportunity to spread out all over and still be safe within this room. And so we're grateful for the facility that God has given us to be able to do that. There'll be more information coming, but I just wanted to let you hear from my heart how we're thinking about it, how much we love you, how much we're trying to prayerfully lead our congregation in a way that's honoring to the Lord, that provides for corporate worship, but also understands the risk and the possibilities for transmission of disease, that we want to mitigate against that as much as possible. So thank you for praying for us. Thank you for supporting our church. Thanks for your words of encouragement. Please keep it up. We need you. We need to be connected during this time. We need to be walking together in unity as we follow after Jesus Christ, being the light and life of the gospel here in our community. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in.